is. If you have not followed his Triple H horse racing podcast, you're missing out. It's one of the best podcasts in the country.
Good evening and welcome to episode 426 of Picks and Ponies right here on the HHH Racing Podcast. I'm your proud host, Howard Kravitz. What a special night we have for you tonight. We're going to set up the whole show for you in just a minute, but before you do that, we have some very exciting announcements this evening. This is going to be a very special show. It's going to be a little different as well, so please gather your friends, family, get everyone around for this special evening right here on the HHH Racing Podcast. Tonight, for the first about 35 minutes of the show, we are dedicating it to an unbelievable fundraiser. And I don't want to spoil it for everyone. I'll let some more important people than me talk about it. But we are here for a very special fundraiser in honor of the horse Cody's Wish, the boy Cody Dorman, his wonderful family, and everyone involved in this story. It's touched our hearts. It's been very special to myself personally and our entire HHH Racing Podcast family. And we have some very special guests tonight to help us fundraise money for this awesome monument that is going to be built in Lexington, Kentucky at the Kentucky Horse Park. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button on the bottom right-hand side of the screen. Hit the notification bell on the top right and smash that like button below the video player as well. You can listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Anchor. You can follow us on X at HHH Racing Pod. We've got some fantastic shows. If you're looking for Pacific Horse Players tonight, it is a taped episode. It will be on later on YouTube due to the NFL and due to our fundraising efforts tonight. We are taping Pacific Horse Players, so the episode will be available on our YouTube channel later as well. We've got a great Power Pick tip sheet. Look below the video player if you're interested in purchasing that through Patreon. We also have a fantastic website, hhhracingpodcast.com. After our fundraiser, we will be talking, myself and Paul Halloran will be talking about a huge card at Kentucky Downs this Saturday. We're going to talk about all 6 stake races, over $13 million. Are you kidding me? Over $13 million, which hopefully is what we're going to be fundraising here tonight. Of course, should be no problem. Over $13 million in purses at Kentucky Downs, and Paul and I will be going through that after we have our fundraising this evening. So let me first bring on my one of my co-hosts from the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, from the Saratoga Special, and a person that I know everyone in the background here in the green room feels is an integral part of not only, of course, this fundraiser, but of the entire Cody's Wish and Dorman family story. Let me bring it on. Very proud to have him on this evening, Mr. Paul Halloran. Paul, how you doing on this very special night?
Hi, Howard. Oh, I'm doing great. This is terrific.
Yeah, we're very excited about it. I'm going to bring on our guests that are waiting. And just so I know we have people in the background, I don't know if someone wants to maybe text or get in touch with Jocelyn Russell, because I see that she's not in the background yet. So, Paul, I don't necessarily expect you to do that. Maybe Robin or the Dorman family can get in touch with Jocelyn and see if she'll be coming on soon. And people at home are wondering, who's Jocelyn Russell? We're going to tell everyone about it, Paul. So, Paul, let me help you set it up here, and then we'll bring on our special guests. What are we fundraising for, Paul, and why are we here tonight during this special show?
Well, Howard, I think, our view is thanks to you and the other hosts are well acquainted with the story of Cody Dorman and Cody's Wish, that, how it started. And I won't say how it ended, because this what we're going to talk about tonight is proof that it's not ending. And there'll be some other collateral coming next year and the years following to prove it's not ending. But anyway, I remember distinctly being at John and Bell Farm on December 18th, 2023, what would have been Cody's 18th birthday. It turned into a celebration of his life, and we were there with Cody's Wish, and there was a woman there with a kind of a tape measure measuring Cody's Wish. And I'm like, well, this is odd. may need a new suit now that he's a stallion. And that was Jocelyn Russell taking measurements for this unbelievable statue that we'll see a rendering of later. And here we are almost 2 years later, and it will be unveiled on October 11th in Lexington, Kentucky. And it's we'll let the Dormans talk about how special it is to them, but it's a statue of Cody's Wish, but there will be ample tribute to Cody in this monument park.
Yes. And what we like to do, we already have a lot of people watching and listening right now. I'm going to talk everyone through the process on what we'd like to do. But here's the big story of the night, other than, of course, why we're here, is that we, on behalf of the HHH Racing Podcast, Brad Anderson and Matt Miller, two wonderful friends of both of ours, friends of the show, they are going to be matching during this show and below the video player on YouTube. We are going to be matching donations up to $2,500. Again, we are matching donations. Matt Miller and Brad Anderson, very generous of them, are going to be matching donations up to $2,500. So what we need to do in the comments right now, in the chat right now, I put up there it is on the screen right now. There is the link to the donation wall on the website. All the money goes through Angels Without Wings. None of this money is coming to us directly. It's all going directly to the charity. Of course, it's a 100%. All the proceeds go to the monument. It's tax deductible. There is the link. The link is in the chat as well. And I'll also put up the website. We're going to show, of course, what the monument will look like. We're going to talk to the artist, which is very exciting, as I see Jocelyn is now in the green room. Jocelyn, if you can hear me, give me a thumbs up, please. Jocelyn, can you hear me? Wonderful. All right. So Jocelyn will be on here in just a moment. Robin and Dorman family. And I see Kaylee is here as well. Of course, the world famous Kaylee Dorman, Paul's best friend by far, the entire world. Kaylee will be with us in just a minute as well. But what we'd like you to do, all you have to do is put your name, first name, last initial. You don't have to put your full name, ladies and gentlemen. Not necessary. First name, last initial in the chat here live on YouTube and how much you're donating. And we promise up to $2,500. We will match that donation. If you're listening to this after the show or you're watching after the live show as a replay, go below the video player on YouTube in the comments section, put your first name, last name if you want, or just last initial, and how much you either plan on donating or already have donated to this wonderful fundraiser we have here, and we will match that. So again, live here on YouTube in the chat or below the video player on YouTube, please state your name and how much you are donating to the cause, and we will match that up to $2,500. Paul, it's fair to say that any donation, $1, $10, $50, no donation is too small for this cause, Paul.
That is correct. That is correct. And Robin Hutton, we're going to bring on in a minute, who is spearheading the fundraising, I'm sure will testify to that.
Yes, we all have a lot of people in the chat. John K is here. Marilyn is here. James is here. Katie is here. Just a lot of people already here. Here we go. There we go. First one. John Kizerski. John, thank you, my friend. $100. We're going to match that for another 100. John, or Dr. K from Florida. Thank you very much, John. We're going to be bringing up anyone that says that they have donated or will be donating. We'll bring that up in the comments on the bottom of the screen as much as possible. All right, Paul, let's bring on some very important people in no particular order. First of all, this woman is in charge of the fundraising. She is also author of a book, I believe, about Sergeant Reckless. I love that story. I hope we can hear her talk about that. Let's bring on first Miss Robin Hutton. Robin, how are you doing this evening?
I'm great, Howard. Oh my gosh, and hi, Paul. It is such an honor and a privilege to be here. I just can't thank you guys enough for having us on to talk about this amazing monument that we're pulling together, and it is really going to be something special. So thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for joining us. I'll let you talk a little bit about yourself and the fundraiser in just a moment. We have some other players that we bring on. This whole fundraising and this whole story, of course, would not be possible if it weren't for the unbelievable best family in America. I'm just going to put it like that.
Indeed.
It's the Dorman family. Let's bring them on right now. Kelly, Kylie, and Leslie. Hi, guys. How are you doing?
How's everybody doing?
Hello.
Thanks for having us, man. I appreciate you guys doing this.
Yes.
Oh, it's awesome. Hey, Kelly, or Leslie, or Kylie, either one of you, what do we got in the background there? I see a horse and a plaque. Can you tell us very quickly before we bring on Jocelyn what we see in the background there?
We're live on site, actually.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Looks like
We will be here in about 5 weeks,
Yeah.
something like that. But yeah, it's just a virtual image. It's on the website, the Cody's Wish Monument website, and I would normally give all this IT stuff credit to Leslie and especially Kylie, but through a lot of frustration and hard work, I've done that myself. So I'm,
Wow.
very good. I'm impressed.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, that automatically makes you 5 times more tech savvy than myself and Paul. I think we both agree with that, Paul.
Yeah, he did it in just a little less time than it took Jocelyn to build the statue.
Wow.
She probably could have.
Wow.
She probably could have built 3 of them by the time I figured this out. But
Kelly, even on the friendly fundraising show, Paul Howard firing shots at you, my friend. It wouldn't be any. You wouldn't want it any other way, I'm sure.
I would be worried about him if it didn't happen.
And let's go ahead and bring on another extremely important person, obviously, because none of this would be able to happen if it wasn't for the wonderful statue of Cody's Wish that is designed by this person right here. Fantastic sculptor and artist. We are so proud to have her on the show. Jocelyn Russell. Jocelyn, nice to meet you. How are you?
Hey, everybody. Thanks for having me. This is so fun. So great to see everyone.
Thanks for coming on, Jocelyn. Paul, I'm going to let you start the questions, but first, very quickly, actually, Robin, tell us how you got involved in the fundraiser, and Jocelyn, if you could also expound on how you got involved in this project, please.
Well, I got involved with Jocelyn back in 2011 when we were doing the Sergeant Reckless Monument. And let me tell you, it was the best thing that ever happened to me to team up with her. We have been on an incredible ride with so many monuments, 6 now to Reckless around the country. But when this story hit with Cody's Wish, Jocelyn came to me and she goes, I really want to do a monument to Cody's Wish. And so I'm like, okay. And Angels Without Wings, the nonprofit, is dedicated to honor those angels that walk among us. And let me tell you, there are no better 2 angels than Cody Dorman and Cody's Wish. They are a symbol of love, a symbol of resilience. And we are just very, very proud and honored to be doing this. And so I called Godolphin and Dan Pride. We'd had a nice conversation with him, and he said, yeah, let's go for it. And then the Dormans have been coming involved. I mean, oh my God, we have had so much fun pulling this together. It's just been unbelievable. And fundraising is going really well. We're at just over 132,000. And I did get your email, Paul. So thank you for that, your donation there. And but it's going down, and we will be putting up a temporary donor plaque to honor all of the donors coming in, and everybody who makes a donation. I don't care if you make $1 donation or $1,000 donation. Everybody goes up on the website of the Cody's Wish Monument and on the Angels Without Wings the Bond Monument page. So we're really trying to honor everybody that comes in as well with the donations. And so it has just been fabulous. And let me tell you, this day on October 11th is really going to be an amazingly emotional day, but one that all of us will be so proud of.
Absolutely. Very well said, Robin. Jocelyn, I see you have some sculpting there in the background. I know you've done many projects. We appreciate you coming on. Please talk about how you got involved in this story, and maybe some of the ups and downs and the difficulties and the excitement of doing such a special monument.
Wow. So yeah, once I hooked up with Robin on Sergeant Reckless, then I suddenly got a Secretariat project dropped in my lap at Life and a Half. And we took that monument at 21 feet long on a flatbed trailer on the Triple Crown Tour in 2023. And of course, Cody's Wish was running that year. And so I began following the story. And then I got to meet Kylie and Leslie and Kelly up at Saratoga and took photos with the monument in the background. And when we lost Cody was there, and my dog fell in love with Cody. It was just the most special time. But when we lost Cody, it just, I don't know, it just, something struck me, and I told Robin, we've just got to do something monumental for this, the whole thing, the whole story is just so compelling. And I love how people have gotten involved and continue to be involved. And every day I just pinch myself. We're just on such an amazing ride. And now we have this extended family that has become very dear to our hearts. So I feel very honored to be the artist working on the project.
Well, we're the one that are blessed, Jocelyn, to have you as part of this project, I'm sure. Kelly and Leslie and Kylie, when did you know that this project was going to exist, and how much involvement do you have in this project directly? Any three of you?
Oh, okay. It was late 23. There's some talk about it, and started coming, just kind of snowball and getting bigger and bigger. And as far as our involvement on the statue and the project, I tease Robin all the time. I tell her, I said, my mom's going to get me, because I think I talk to her a lot more than I talk to Robin a lot more than I do my own mother. But we've been heavily involved in it. There's so much meaning behind everything in this actual monument. I mean, the story itself, everybody knows the meaning of it. But the people that's worked on this, the team, every aspect of this monument has special meaning behind it. Even the concrete that it stands on. There's stories behind all of that. There's nothing that you will see there that doesn't have some type of little story or meaning behind it. And we look forward to October the 11th, when the unveiling's there, and get as many people that like to come and to see it. And it's obviously going to be really emotional, but powerful, inspirational, and I just this, yes, it's dedicated to Cody and Cody's Wish, but this monument is for everybody. Just the story from the start's been for everybody.
Yeah, it's real special. Again, I'm working through a lot of, just so Robin and Jocelyn know, I'm the producer, I'm the editor, I'm clicking a lot of buttons in the background. James, thank you very much. James, $50. Really appreciate that. We'll be matching that, James. Thank you. Paul, the monument, of course, is in the background of the Dormans there on the screen, but let me go ahead and bring in the website. Again, all the information is on the screen. I sent out an email. CODY'S Monument.com is the website. On the bottom of the screen, ladies and gentlemen, is the way to donate. I'll take everyone through the donation page. And also in the chat, in the live chat, there's the exact link. You can just cut and paste that, everyone. That'll go to the direct page instead of just the general website for the donation wall. I bring this up, Paul, because, and let me bring you on screen. Paul, you actually are a direct part of this monument, as I asked you to write a piece, which was very nice. Paul, why don't you explain your direct involvement in the monument, and then I'll let you ask a few questions of the panel. And we have to hear from, I see it looks like Kylie stepped away, but we have to hear from Kylie at some point tonight. But Paul, talk about your direct involvement in the monument, and then I'll let you ask some questions.
Well, it's hard for other Dormans to get a word in. We know that. We're working. We're working on that. So you'll see right behind Cody's Wish there. There's, I believe that is the stone with the story. And I had a very easy task. Robin will relate, having written a book. I just had to whittle a 60,000 word book down to 250 words. No problem.
Oh, wow.
But we did, and I'm completely honored to be asked to do it, and it'll be there for a long time. And there's others, there'll be the donor the donor plaque that the HHH family strives to be on. There'll be the story of the diamond, of course, the diamond shape on Cody's Wish's head, the diamond, which is Bill Mott's logo. So that it's more than just the statue. And I think what's important, and maybe Jocelyn obviously should talk about it, is, the pose that she has Cody's Wish in, that was, the pose he was in so many times with his head pretty much right on Cody's lap. And that will allow, ostensibly someone else in a wheelchair to just be wheeled up and take a photo. So, I was going to ask you, Jocelyn, as someone who can't build anything, I mean, I can write a little bit, but I couldn't build a matchbox. How do you build? This is 17 hands, which is really big. How do you go about, and I was in the presence of the Secretariat statue several times. It's one of the most phenomenal things I've ever seen. Maybe you could just briefly tell our viewers, how you go about creating something of that scope.
Yeah, so the inspiration came from the images with Cody under Cody's Wish's chin. I just loved the fact that Cody could wheel up and the horse would just come up and have this moment of in time with Cody. And so I really wanted to portray that. And as I've said before, this is sort of a static pose for me. I'm usually doing animals in motion. But my husband also says I either portray motion or emotion. And I think that this particular piece is definitely plays to our heart. So I decided to do him in a relatively calm pose with his head down. And believe it or not, it's probably one of the most challenging poses I've ever sculpted. I just thought, this is just going to be so simple. I've got a lot of reference work. I can look at the length of the pastern. I've got all the measurements. But I'll tell you what, if you get it wrong, you'll really get it wrong, because he's not stretched out running. So I can't fudge anything. But I started small. And the reason I have this small one in the background, this one is 12 inches tall. From hoof to shoulder. And believe it or not, this is actually the original clay of Cody's Wish that I have turned into silver charm. So it's kind of nice because this is a little bit of an extension of the project. But I always do the smaller size. And once I get approval from the committee, then I go ahead and have it scanned and enlarged in foam. And then they mill the foam and send it to me in pieces. And then I refine the foam and then put a layer of clay on that and detail that. So I can actually do little eyelashes and everything in detail at life size. So that's how it's done, Paul. It seems like it's really daunting, but really it's sort of like I work off my own blueprint and then I build a house. It's about the same thing. But
Jocelyn, it's funny you brought that up, Jocelyn. I was going to ask you, you answered the question from a sculptor and artist standpoint. Is it almost more difficult to do a project where the horse is just standing and not running, because so many of the pieces are horses running, obviously in motion? So you would think it'd be easier, but as you said, maybe perhaps not.
It just isn't, because everybody knows what a horse looks like standing. They've got thousands, millions of confirmation photos, and we get a lot of photos of them on the track, but like I said, you're not really able to define the length of the cannon bone compared to, so everything it's so black and white when it's just a standing horse. And everybody, it's a portrait. So it's not just a horse, it's a portrait of someone. It's like, if I'm going to sculpt Abraham Lincoln, it better look like Abraham Lincoln.
Of course.
And I just want to say the one thing about Jocelyn, and I say this about her all the time, I have never seen anybody do as much research into her projects as she does. And as Paul mentioned earlier, he was at John Bell Farm and he sees this girl with this measuring stick, taking all these measurements of Cody's Wish, and it's like, what is going on? But it goes into her brain and it comes out of her fingers. And it is brilliant with what she is able to do and create. And the emotion and the feelings that you will see in the sculpture is really, really something special.
Well, before Paul, absolutely, I can't wait to see in person. Paul, before you ask some questions, I want to give some updates. First of all, this came from Robin, and Robin appreciated. There's been now over $132,000 has been donated, not from the HHH Racing podcast. We're getting there, Robin, but there's been over $132,000 already donated to the project, which costs around $275,000 from my understanding. The HHH Racing podcast has already donated several $100s, and we're going to add to that in just a moment, Robin. But I do want to show everyone on the screen right now what to do. Again, if you go to the CODY'S and you scroll down, there is this donate now button. You simply press donate now. And what we'd appreciate on the right side there in the notes, please put HHH Racing Podcast. So again, HH Racing Podcast in the notes, everyone. So when you make the donation, Robin and everyone will know that that is coming from the HHH Racing Podcast family. So again, it's very important in the notes that you put HHH Racing Podcast in your donation. If you did not have a chance to put that in the notes, please contact Robin. Robin, if people forgot to put that in the notes, what's the best way to contact you or someone so they can make sure that their money is credited to our family?
So what I will do, because this is all coming in, and if nobody does that, I will reach out to them. I get their emails on their donation, and that happened today. I was questioning somebody who didn't have it on there, and he was at a different event that we were at, and so I will reach out to people. But if anybody wants to get in touch with me for any questions, the link is on the website, and it's also aww.org@gmail.com is an email for me, and they can write to me, and I'll do that. But if I don't get that, I will reach out to people just to be safe.
Terrific. Paul, I don't mean to be delaying your questions, but we get a lot of. Here's a big donation coming in from Matt Miller. Matt Miller, $1,365.
Thank you,
Thank
Matt.
you very much, Matt.
Thank you, Matt.
So, Paul, does he have to match his own donation? I think he does, doesn't he? By the rules,
he does, yes.
I think he does. So,
he's
Matt,
he's a rules following guy.
He is. Matt, thank you very much for that. Vic Stauffer. Vic is one of the best track announcers in the history of the game. He's also a friend of myself and the podcast, donating $85. Vic, thank you very much for that. Neil Thornberry, another close member of our family, donating $50 to the cause. Neil, thank you very much for that. Paul, the floor is yours for a little bit. Go and ask any questions you'd like. Sorry for the delay.
I just want to say Matt Miller is just showing his thanks for that Breeders' Cup win photo that he and Brad and others barged their way into, which they are proud.
Exactly.
But no, I think it'd be good for our viewers to hear from the Dormans. Just, there's a lot going on with the story. My book's been talked about. I talked to Kelly today. There will be a movie. There'll be a documentary. But I think it'd be good to hear from them just what, this obviously is going to be there for a long, long time after all of us have moved on to the real heaven, the real racetrack in the sky, not just Saratoga. But just what it means to them to have this permanent monument to their son and brother. Good, Leslie. Let's hear from you because we hear from Kelly too much. Danny Mulvihill is texting me. People want to hear from you, Leslie.
Yeah.
Great to see you, Leslie. Go ahead, Leslie, if you'd like.
Go ahead. That's okay. She's understandably pretty emotional. Yeah. I mean, everything's just so surreal. And Cody had every mountain and obstacle placed in front of him the day he was born. And I don't even know if he ever seen any of them. He found a way to overcome them and get past it. And by doing that, he set a precedence for a lot of people around the world. And this monument and the book Paul wrote, the film that we got coming out, this legacy and stuff, he carved his path his own way. He didn't let his syndrome define who he was, and he would even say that he in his heart he was all about everybody else around him. He never was about himself. And when he was around 12 years old, he collided with one of his best friends that I guess he'd been somewhat searching for a long time. He had a lot. He had many, many, many friends, but this connection with Cody's Wish, I mean, it would run right through you. I mean, I can use every word that I can imagine to describe it, but I don't think I'd ever do it justice. And this is one of the first of many bricks that he's laying for this inspiration. And it's, first to come is the monument, now the book, and, a wonderful film, the storyline on it's incredible too. But there's so many underlying stories with him that people will learn about, as things come along. And reading Paul's book, we learned a lot of stuff about it, and we had a front row seat. So I told Paul today, I said, "You turned over."
Leslie, did he pay for that?
Yeah, I paid quite a bit tonight already for it. But it was an amazing, and it still is, always been an amazing blessing. I would have done this a million times over. Leslie will too. Hated to see a lot of the things that Cody went through, but he taught us so much, and led by example, of course. And it's been a blessing on so many levels to where he's just to see his interaction with the horse and how they inspired each other. But, just as big a blessing as the people we've met. We've been blessed all our lives with some of the best friends you can imagine in the world. And we had, we lived a relatively isolated, quiet life. And, our family's grown substantially since then. And, Robin, Jocelyn, they're part of it now. Of course, Godolphin, just thoroughbred racing nation, or just equine nation all across the board. It's just, it just warms our heart when people come up to tell us how inspired they are by this. And I know you think you would get calloused up to it, over time, but each and every day is, just as amazing to us as the day that happened. And it's never tapered off. It's still going strong. And while I'm thinking of it, to put this monument in full perspective, and Jocelyn, I'm going to call you out on this one. Robin and I was having a conversation last night, and we were just rattling on, and we were just talking about all the detail that you put into your work, and how all the other statues I've seen that you do, it's an action, secretariat, reckless, they're doing something, but Cody's Wish is just standing there. But we know firsthand the immense power that pose has, and I couldn't mold a clay pot. Nothing against people that make clay pots, but I would think if I had to do a sculpture of a horse, one that's standing still and not doing anything would probably be the easiest. I could be wrong, but I don't know. But I've heard you time and time again through this process talk about the difficulty you've had with this, and people are going to see it when they get to the monument. All the muscles, the muscle fibers, the veins, just the minute details. I know you worked really hard on getting his mouth right, and thank you for the blood, sweat, and tears that you had with that. But I hope this resonates with you as much as anything you've done, because I told Robin last night, as hard as you worked on capturing the outside of that horse, you captured the inside of him 10 times farther than the exterior of that horse. I guess maybe we're biased, I don't know, but he looks at you differently. He's just got a way of staring at us, but he just had a way of looking at Cody, and it was just, I don't know. I don't have words. I really don't. But That's
There's
what
an upset.
yeah, yeah, that is what you caught is the essence of this whole thing by what you have done already. And I don't know what I'm going to do when I see it in person. I mean, just, thank you.
Cry.
Don't climb on top of it.
Jocelyn, someone put in the chat something very appropriate to what we're talking about. John Judge said the horse's head in that position leaves one with a feeling of absence, which is appropriate and somber. Is that something that you were trying to convey in the sculpting of Cody's Wish?
Well, I think at this point I'm going to join Leslie because I'm at a bit of loss for words and a little emotional on what Kelly just said.
Thanks, Kelly.
Yeah, thanks, Kelly. No, I have to speak. But yes, I really did want to make that connection as though Cody was still with him under his chin. And so I'm sure that that was a big part of what I was doing, although I don't think at the time I was really, I think I just must have manifested it because I had seen the interactions before, and I just knew that, and I have to say also that Dan Pride and his team at John Abel really helped with the research. I didn't have the exact pose that I wanted with the clear shot, and they set it up there at the barn and brought Cody's Wish out and took some great professional photos of him with his head stretched out. They held some oats or some carrots or something in front of him. And we did that also with Kylie, I think with an ice cream cone, right, Kylie? Trying to get him to lean his head out and you know, kind of replicate that pose. But yes, a lot went into trying to push his chest a little bit further and keep his front legs just a little behind him as though he was straining eagerly to get to Cody. And like I said, when we were in Saratoga and my dog started to crawl up in Cody's lap, and she didn't really like young people, and she didn't like wheelchairs or strollers, but she just could not get close enough to Cody at that time. And we've got some photos. I looked at Leslie, I said, "Is this okay?" And she said, "Yes." And so Alice Margaret crawled up sort of in Cody's lap and tried to lean close to him. And that was also part of the story to me, is to bring that, because I've got the photos of that. And so that really kind of rounded out the experience for me. And like Robin says, it just sort of happens. Sometimes I feel like I'm just watching my hands work and I'm not really even that connected to it. I can almost look back and go, wow, check this out. But it's my hands doing it. So I can't explain it. I'm not a really weird artist, but every once in a while I just go into a different zone. And that's where I was with this horse several times.
I'd love to hear from Kylie, if we could, for just a second. Kylie, what do you like? First of all, it's great to see you, young lady. You are getting bigger and growing every day. I can't wait to see you in person, Kylie, next month. What is your favorite part about the monument? And what do you think people are going to feel when they see that entire monument?
I think it's cool.
What is there anything in particular you like? Do you like like it's bronze? You like the colors? Do you like the muscles?
What's your favorite part of it?
No, I don't know.
Yeah, you do. What's your favorite part?
The horse.
The horse.
The horse, yeah. We understand that the horse is right above you. So
Yeah.
do you think people are going to go up and pet the horse at the monument? Do you think, are people going to try to like feed the horse something? What do you think people are going to do? What do you think? What do you think people's reaction's going to be?
What are you going to do when you walk up to him?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, you do.
Yeah. I'm sure there's going to be Robin and Jocelyn. I'm sure there's going to be, and Paul, there's going to be a lot of different emotions and feelings. We're gonna wrap this up here in just a minute, but I do want to bring on, but show a very special post at the bottom. This is from Kyle Roscoe, who's part of our family and host of one of our shows called Bet and Boozin'. Kelly, Leslie, and Kylie are the most genuine people you will ever meet. So excited to see the monument go up in honor of Cody and Cody's Wish. He will be there at the monument ceremony, as well as myself, Paul, and Noah Maher will be there as well. Kyle also said Emma and Emma's his beautiful wife, are donating $100 So
Yeah.
thankful to get to be there for the opening of this amazing tribute. Robin, someone wanted the link, your email that I can put up. Can you share that? Actually, just share with me and I can put up later. But what again is your email link? Or
aww.org at gmail.com.
At gmail.com.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
the
I'm gonna
easiest.
put up aww.org at gmail.com. Is that correct?
Correct. And I just want
Okay.
to say too that not only do people's names go up on both of those websites who, for their donations, but I will be sending out, and give me time, a certificate of thanks and appreciation for it. And people just usually love to get those because we really are so grateful for everybody joining us. And the event is public, open to the public. So please, if you're in the area on October 11th, join us because it will be a day to remember, let me tell you.
And again, it's at the Kentucky Horse Park. People can
Yes.
look into where that is in Lexington. Again, the date and the time, please, Robin, one more time for everyone.
It's October 11th, Saturday, October 11th at 9:00 a.m. Keeneland is racing that day, so we want to get it done quickly for them. But we will be there as long as people are there. We will be staying there because we know it's going to be a very emotional day.
Paul, any final questions or thoughts as we wrap up this portion of our podcast tonight?
No, I just want to thank Howard, everyone in the chat who's donated, people before donated, obviously Matt and Brad. Matt and Brad and Kyle and yourself got a chance to meet Cody. You guys were all there at the house in Saratoga or the night before the Whitney. There's Brad right now. And
do you want to read that, please, Paul, for people that are going to listen to this?
Yes, Brad Anderson, the great Brad Anderson, HHH family. So happy to partner with Matt Miller to help assist in creating a lasting legacy to both Cody's in their special story. Donate if you can, and we will match your contribution. Thanks. So they, I think it began for our group, Howard, that night. Cody was the star of the show as usual. Kind of receiving people at that big round table in the dining room there. I was doing work on that table this year when I was in that house, thinking of that night. And a lot of our guys got to meet the Dormans for the first time that night. And here we are a couple of years later and involved in something like this. So we just appreciate the support everyone is giving we got a great group that follow us for sure.
We just have an amazing family, Robin, Jocelyn, and Dorman.
Awesome.
We have an amazing podcast family. We have an amazing extended family. I'm getting all emotional. I'll be making a donation a personal donation as well on behalf of the HHH Racing Podcast. That'll be coming soon as well, guys. So Robin, Jocelyn, and Dorman family, any final quick thoughts? I wish we could talk longer, but people can go on the website. People can come to the event themselves, and if you have anything, any emotion and feeling for horse racing, for Cody's Wish or the Dormans in your heart, again, no dollar amount, ladies and gentlemen, is too small. Please put HHH Racing Podcast in the notes. If you already donated and forgot to do that, please go and reach out to Robin Hutton, again, aww.org at gmail.com. Or you can contact me and I'll go ahead, Robin, and send that forward. But Robin, Jocelyn, and the Dormans, any final thoughts?
I'm going to interject one thing here, if I could. On Cody's neck, he had what's called the Prophet's thumbprint, and Kelly told me about this. It's a mark from ancient lore that came from 5 loyal mares that were very important, and any animal that has that mark on its neck is to be of royalty and to excel. And right next to that in my monument is the initials of the Dorman family. And so I hope that everybody comes to the monument at the horse park and takes photos of that part as well. You'll have to really look for it. They're not big initials. They're very small, but it's a nice touch.
I love that.
It's beautiful. Yeah.
Robin, final thoughts, and then we'll go to the Dorman family.
I am just so grateful for everybody, how you guys putting this on, and everybody who has donated. We can't thank you enough. It's just it just does my heart so good. I mean, I have been tearing up through this whole thing. And so, but I am so grateful, and I know we're going to hit it out of the park. And thank you so much. And I can't wait to see you guys in person on October 11th.
And the donation period does not end, right, Robin? People can donate until what point can people donate?
So, you'll take donations really until it's ended. So we have a temporary donor plaque that will probably, if you wanted to get on the donor plaque, it'll probably be the end of September when we need everybody's name. But we will be taking donations up until it's funded, and that's why we have the temporary plaque. So we just keep it going.
We all look forward to seeing HHH Racing Podcast family on that plaque. That is not
We
why
will
we're
do
doing
you
it.
proud. We're
not doing it for ourselves, Robin. We're doing it for those people there in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, and for the racing community at large. But we will be, I especially will be very honored and privileged as the founder and host of this podcast to have our name on that special plaque. Dorman family, please, this will not be appropriate if we didn't give you a chance to end this segment. Thank you all very much for coming on. Kelly, Leslie, or Kylie, any final thoughts?
Go ahead. I try. No, just real quick. Someone asked about the pose Cody's Wish is in. That's taken from that iconic image of those two. And Kylie has a way with Cody's Wish herself, and she got him to get into that pose the best we could. But anyway, that was the initial thing to do from the start. And we come up with several different ideas when we was coming across it. I mean, probably thousands of them, matter of fact. But anyway, Robin and Jocelyn probably get a big laugh at me. I had a lot of fun breaking the pencil out and stuff and drawing up a lot of ideas and stuff. But anyway, last year at Briarfest, Jocelyn had the maquette, and we were up there, and I brought a little folder in of all this stuff, ideas and stuff I had, and we were just looking at it, and hadn't really, we had an idea of kind of the arrangement of everything we wanted, but I just set the paper up of the drawing of one of the walls. It wasn't the one we wound up settling on, but I set it up there, and I thought, well, what if we turn Cody's Wish to where he's looking at their image all the time? And when I'd done that, it was just, I don't know, one of those come to Jesus moments, I guess. I just stood there and I couldn't believe what we were seeing. I looked over at Jocelyn, and she just held her arm up, and the hair was stood up on her arm, and it changed the whole dynamic. Somehow it just focused on what we really needed to do. I mean, we had the idea of this being interactive the whole time. So they're spaced out enough to where people can come up and get their picture in the same way Cody always had, and especially children or people in wheelchairs to emulate that feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And, when no one's there, he's always looking at their image, and it's just so meaningful.
Mm-hmm.
But Kelly, that's what I think is most poignant about, because this could have been done in many different ways, right? Like, I know the Secretariat statue in Lexington, and that, that circle, that roundabout area is really cool and huge. And you could have done something like that. But the fact that you thought so much about your son and people that are disabled and giving them the opportunity to have that same feeling, to me, is what really makes this monument special. And I tip my cap to everyone who thought of that particular idea and kept that in mind, because, again, you folks could have done a lot of things with this monument. But the fact that you want to tip your cap to Cody Dorman, and to let people, everyone, no matter if they're sitting in wheelchairs, standing, running, have that same feeling, to me, is what really makes it special. And Matt Miller, just we'll end with a little bit. He was wondering, Robin, can we raise $15K and get 3 bricks that say HHH? No, we don't want that.
Huge on the wall.
we don't want that, but it's
the bigger the donation, the bigger your name. So.
And again, the event is free, Robin, correct? No one has to pay anything to get to see the event, the unveiling.
Right, the event is totally free. Absolutely.
Perfect.
You might not have a chair, but come on down. Great. It's going to be a party.
Great. Paul, it's been great. I'll let you, Cal, you can say everything you wanted to say.
I just want to real quick just thank everybody from the bottom of our hearts. I don't want to take up too much time doing that, but we love all of you guys, and thank you for doing this. Jocelyn, Robin, thank you so much for all this hard work you've put into this, and the rest of the team. And just thank you so much.
We love you, Kelly.
We love you guys. Thank you so much for coming on. It's absolutely our pleasure. Again, CODY'S you can scroll down a few pages on that website, and you can see where there's a donation page. I have the donation page up at the very top of the comment section on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. Whether you're watching live or not, there it is on the screen now, the donation wall. That's the exact page on the website and the exact link where you can donate. Again, HHH Racing Podcast in the notes. We greatly appreciate that. Robin, Jocelyn, Dorman family, it's been our absolute pleasure to have you on for this part of the podcast. We love you guys. We look forward. Jocelyn, you're going to be, I'm assuming, at the ceremony, of course, as well, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm bringing the horse. I'm going to finals in my Foundry in Utah on September 21st, I think. And then we load him in a U-Haul, and my husband and I will drive him cross country. It's 1,700 miles.
Wow.
He's going to do a U-Haul strap down, and we'll be showing up and offload him and get him installed on September 30th. So, yeah, it's going to be quite a ride.
Full police escort, I'm hoping, to help you along there.
Well,
thanks, everyone, again. Really appreciate it. Robin and Dorman family, I know we'll be in touch before the actual ceremony.
Got it.
Thank
you, guys. Take care. Have a great night. All right. Bye-bye.
Thanks so much. Thanks, everybody.
Bye-bye. All right, there you go. Wow, what a special, Paul, that's awesome. I mean, you know me, I'm a pretty emotional guy. I know you are too. I mean, just everything about this project is amazing. I don't see how anyone could have any negative bone in their body about this project. The fact that it's being self-funded by non-for-profit. We really do appreciate everyone that can contribute to it. Paul, thanks for helping us get Robin and the Dorman family and Jocelyn on. And I see they're still in the background. If they have any interest in finding out who's going to win some races at Kentucky Downs this Saturday, they can stay on right now, because we're going to do a little handicapping. Paul, because we went a little bit late there, although time is not a real issue, we're going to go through these races relatively quickly, everyone. But it is a big day. I'm going to leave the scroll actually on the bottom of the screen, Paul, for the donation, because that's really much more important than the races on Saturday. But let's go ahead and get into the races Saturday. Again, people are wondering, Pete Visco is busy with his family tonight, in case people are wondering where Pete might be. But there's 6 big races worth $13 million+ at Kentucky Downs, Paul, this Saturday. There's a horse running called Vote No, which is a part of the Crownsway stable. Congratulations for getting to this point, and good luck to Tony Rallo. Kyle Roscoe, our wonderful Kyle Roscoe, has a small ownership micro piece of this horse, and Noah Maher is going to be joining Kyle since he's in Kentucky already, not that far away. So I'll be a little bit jealous, but I hope those guys have a great time. Let's try to find those 2 gentlemen a winner, although they don't need our help, Paul, but maybe other people at home will need the help from us. So let's go to race 6. Race 6 is the Light and Wonder Ladies Marathon Invitational. It's a grade 3, starts at 224 Central. Paul, there are 6 stake races in a row. This is the first of those 6. We see the morning lines on the right side of the screen. Morning line favorite is number 4, Spanish Eyes, a German bred for Walsh and Ben Curtis. Let's go ahead and put the banners up again. We're going to go much more quickly through these races than we normally would, ladies and gentlemen, as I scroll to where I want to get to. There we go. I'm going to go 4, 8, 11. Paul's going 7, 4, 3. Paul, I think we'll just talk about 1 or 2 horses with each race and then move on. Duvet Day, a closer for McCarthy and Johnny V is your top choice.
Yeah, and it's probably good that we're going short, Howard, because if you really wanted to do these Kentucky Downs races justice, you'd spend about 30 minutes on all of them and still not know what the hell is going to happen. They're challenging, but if you're right, you get paid. It's the one place where you don't have to, other than opening day, you're not going to get a parade of favorites. I thought that Beverly D was okay. This horse did come late. That was a 1 3/16 race. He picks up another furlong in this race. You do, and I think in these routes at Kentucky Downs, you do want horses coming forward and uphill in the stretch. You get Johnny V. As I said, he only missed. She only missed by 2 lengths last time. She did run here last year at 2 miles and a 16th. Didn't really run that well. That is a potential negative because you do want horses who have run well here, but at least she does have experience here. That's always a guessing game. I just thought, I think, and you can talk about the 4. I get a feeling that Beverly D is going to come back okay.
I think so. I mean, it wasn't the best Beverly we've ever seen. If you are Chicagoan, you know that. It's not so much the last race, Paul. It's more for me the progression of this horse. She came over from Germany, which has underrated racing. Just ask our good friend Davey Lane. And all she's done is improved in every start from a 77 to an 88. She closed very well in that Beverly D. It was a fast pace, but it didn't necessarily fall apart. So she made a nice run. Based on her form in Germany, Paul, I think she's going to love this distance. And this field is sort of matte to me. I don't know. I don't see anything real special. There's a lot of ways you can go, but I'm going to go with Spanish Eyes and a French bred, an Irish bred from Germany, Spanish Eyes. Think about that one for a little bit.
Well,
anyway, it's a geographical conundrum. How about that, Paul, for a little wordsmith language?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
All right.
Well, you put up 2 million, they're going to come from far and wide.
No doubt. No doubt. So that is, again, I'm going 4-8-11. Paul's going 7-4-3. I would show the pace projector, Paul, but who the hell knows what's going to happen in some of these races, but we'll get into that a little bit. Race 7 right here. Race 7, let me bring up the Equibase first. Sorry about that. Race 7 is the FanDuel Mint Millions Invitational, grade 3, but it's 2.5 million. It's a grade 3, Paul, and it's 2.5 million is the purse. Absolutely crazy. Let me take the banners off the bottom of the screen there. This is a field of 13. The money line favorite all the way on the outside, the number 13, Laganos, Steve Asmussen, Jose Ortiz. This is for 3-year-olds and up. Let's see where Paul and I are going. Whoops, there we go. I'm going 7-3-2. Look at this, Paul. We're going with the same horse. You're going 7-9-3. In a very difficult field, Paul, we are both going to go with a horse that we hope lives up to his name in Brilliant, Birdie, Cherie, and Brian Hernandez.
Yeah, and he's not going to be 8-1, so don't get your hopes up there, folks. No. But that's okay. This horse is ultra consistent, especially on the win end. 7 out of 11. Laganos or I'm hearing it pronounced differently now, but whatever. Another thing people have to deal with in this card, Howard, is this horse won on opening day, August 28th. Coming back in 9 days, and no one really runs back in 9 days these days, except when they put $2.5 million on the table, and all of a sudden, I get a kick out of trainers. We want to train up to a race 2 months out, and then there's $2 million on the table, and we'll run in a week, sure. So,
of course.
But I like, our fondness for Cherie DeVoe is well documented. This horse is coming off a layoff, no problem with her. Has 1-for-1 at Kentucky Downs. I referenced that. He won the gun runner last year, and kind of the way you want to win a race down there, just kind of made a big move on the turn and took the lead at the top of the stretch and maintained. That race was at a mile. This race is at a mile. That's another thing I like about this horse, Howard. 5 times at a mile, 4 wins in a second. So I think even at half the morning line, this horse might be a good bet.
I mean, he's won over 2 million. This is one of the more underrated horses in training right now, Paul. I saw the lifetime winnings. I'm like, holy crap! I mean, that is really damn impressive. And there are a few horses, Paul, that I say supposedly are coming back in 8 days, and normally I'd be completely against that. But we've seen horses before, for some reason, at this track do that and do it successfully. It happened last year a few times. The horses were coming back quickly and running well. So I don't know, maybe the hills and valleys are more conducive to coming back quicker, or maybe it's a softer surface. I'm not really sure. But anyway, we're both going to go with Brilliant Birdie. I just want to quickly mention Cairo, who, if Cairo, came in third in the Queen Anne. Those horses in the Queen Anne in here would be 1 to 10. So,
Right.
he's improving. I thought he ran okay in the Arlington Million, although he could have run better. So I've got him in the mix. You do also. And then you also have, let's see, the number 9, Point Linus, who's a fresh face. But again, Dettori is riding this turf course well. There should be no surprise there that Euros are doing well on this turf course.
Yeah, and he had a couple of rides today that I thought were quizzical, but he was leading the standings after the first 3 cards. And
Okay.
yeah, it seems to me very logical that Euros would be, I just think you have to give them a second look, and that explains. I think this horse might be more of a board horse, especially looking at his lifetime 9 seconds, but yeah, certainly a horse I want to keep in there.
Paul, I know you're going to hate me, but I got to talk about it. Friday night into Saturday morning, there is a pretty good chance of strong thunderstorms in the area. Now, they said it's going to be a little more scattered on Friday, and Friday night is the stronger chance. It's supposed to end Saturday morning. It's been very dry in Franklin, Kentucky, and actually in the Midwest. We've had unbelievable weather here in the Midwest. I can't speak for actually in Northeast too, has been really nice weather. I'm sure the turf course can handle plenty of rain, Paul, but obviously there have been times where they've canceled the card if it's really bad, because once you run on that turf course and it's wet, it'll collect more divots, and it's just dangerous because it's just the same turf course being run on again and again and again and again. I'm not suggesting by any means that they're going to cancel. I'm sure they're going to run. All I'm going to say is I have a feeling that turf course is going to take some rain this Friday night into Saturday morning. It might play a little bit differently. You have to watch the early part of the card and see how it's playing. Let's go into the next race, Paul, which is race 8. There's the picks on the bottom of the screen. Race 8 is the Exacta Systems Gun Runner Stakes. This is restricted for 3-year-olds. $2 million is the purse. Just amazing. 1 mile, big field again of 14. The morning line favorite is the number 1, Namaron. This is a interloper from a German bred, actually, with Sadler now taking over for Flavian Pratt at 4-1. Very interesting. But look at the screen. I'm going 7, 12, 11. You're going 1, 7, 12. You're going with the fresh race here, Paul, and put a lot of trust in Sadler and Flavian. I could understand why.
Yeah, well, I can't, well, it looks like John has had this horse for a little bit. Obviously, 4 works at Del Mar, 3 of them on the turf. But, this is, for all intents and purposes, I'm betting the Euro, not a California horse. Nothing against the California horses who run for less. We should say that, Howard. We're talking about the purses. Those purse prices are inflated greatly if you are a Kentucky bred. So, for example, this race is $2 million for Kentucky breds, only $1 million for everyone else. But what's $1 million among friends? Yeah, I wanted the best available Euro here. You get Pratt as a bonus. This horse is Group 3 winner over in Germany. That trainer, Henk Gruer. I'm sure Davey Lane will be horrified at my pronunciation of that. But I want, and especially if you're talking about course conditions, that might even be more of a reason to use the 1.
I agree. Paul, my strongest opinion of this entire sequence is this race. And you'll see on the spot plays, you'll see on the spot plays this weekend if you have power pick tip sheets, but you also see on the show here at the end. I really like New Century on the turnback, Paul. Turnbacks don't work as well on turf as they do on dirt, but I'm telling you, man, I've seen this horse run. Other than I didn't see the Newmarket race on April 16th, but literally every other North American start and even some of his Euro starts when he was a 2-year-old. I've watched this horse race a lot on video and I shouldn't say on video, replays and live. This horse is not one long, Paul. I've been waiting forever for this horse to turn back. He always takes a lot of money because of the connections, but I feel very strongly that this horse has been dying for a turn back. I think his form says it. I'm not going to, belabor the point. I like Irad, obviously. He puts blinkers on. I think he's going to be up a little bit closer, but he doesn't need the lead. If it comes up softer, I'm not 100% sure that would actually be good for him. I do recall the connection saying they wanted it firm when he came here to the States. But other than that, Paul, I think this is a very classy individual who's been dying for a turn back, and they've been trying to stretch him out. I think Brendan Walsh finally realizes, Paul, that he is not a mile, he's not a 9-panel horse. He's not a 10 furlong horse. This is an 8 furlong horse or less. So I really like New Century. Do you have him in second? So I'm preaching to the choir there with that horse.
Yeah, and Brendan's good. Brendan won. I think he won one today. He's doing well with his horses there, and you can only run them when they write the races. There aren't it doesn't seem like there are a whole lot of mile turf races to be had. I think the 4-Star Dave or the Hall of Fame, one of those two. But and I read one a couple today back from his adventurous Sunday at Saratoga. So Kyle was, I think, referring to.
He saw the previous race, Spanish Eyes. Right.
But so I'm with you. Interesting on this is a horse who is shortening up, but interesting with blinkers on. Brendan putting blinkers on this horse. It looks like for the first time.
Yep. Brad wanted to mention that you made an excellent point about the quick turnarounds. Dollars drive the decisions, of course. Matt McJunkin, excellent contest player, fan of the show. What's up, Matt? If it's good or soft, the one will win by open lengths. Wow. And not the one in this race. Not the one that's on the screen. Paul, your top choice. German breds love it wet. There's no doubt about that. That's been proven over time. So I think Matt is onto something. Again, we gotta see what the weather's gonna be like and see what happens here. Matt says, I just don't feel like New Century likes to win, loves to finish alongside the winner. Matt, I hear you. I think his kick, Paul, has been dulled by the distance. That's my opinion. So Matt, I could be wrong, but I feel pretty strongly about that. Again, if it does come up, and it's not gonna be like real soft, Paul. I mean, if it's real soft, I'm not gonna run on it. And again, because of the hills, Paul, that's more dangerous because they're going up and down and the water will collect in certain areas, right? So they have to be careful, with that turf course. And they're going to run it more at this rail setting, I believe, on actually that might be on Monday, I think.
They're going to be down. I think the rails are going to be down on Saturday.
Oh, so this is a new rail position on Saturday, is that right?
I think I heard Joe Christopher talking about that with Steve Bick today.
Okay.
And Howard, what you said about the German breds, that's what I think that's what Colonel Hogan said to Fraulein Hilga.
I'll trust you on that one. All right. Race 9, the AGS Music City Stakes Grade 2, 6.5 furlongs. So this is sprinting, another $2 million purse. This is for 3-year-olds. So 3-year-old fillies sprinting. Moorline, look at this field of 12. There's a bunch of AEs. I mean, it's unbelievable. The Moorline favorite is the number 10. She's so spicy. D'Angelo Irad. This horse was unbelievable, and then just threw in a clunker in Europe. I bet her that day, Paul, because I think she's that good. She didn't run very well. Now she's got to come back from Europe, although she's had plenty of time to reacclimate. But she's got to go 6.5, and if it's soft, I don't know. Let's see what Paul has here in mind. This is race 9, right? I'm going 5-3-10. Interesting. You're going 9-5-4. We're both fading She's So Spicy, the Moorline favorite. You're going to go with Kilwin for Rusty Arnold and Jose Ortiz.
Yeah, and this would be my strongest opinion of the sequence. You had yours in the last race.
Love it.
I think this horse is really in form. Now, I know, she's coming off 2 dirt races. Some would say, well, those are her best races, but there's nothing wrong with her turf form. 2 wins. Most importantly, has an impressive win here at Kentucky Downs. Went toe to toe with Lake Victoria in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf, so to speak. Lake Victoria just in another world. But yes, lost the She's So Spicy twice, going 5.5 earlier this year. If She's So Spicy can return to her form, she may be the best in here. But she's a grade 3 winner. And this horse has won a grade 1 on dirt, ran second in a grade 3 on turf, and ran what I would call a very decent 5th in a grade 1 on turf in the Breeders' Cup. So, and Jose stays. Rusty Arnold picks his spots as well as anyone, especially down there. I like this horse a lot.
I hear you. She could absolutely win, Paul, and I could be completely wrong about this horse. I don't know what to make of her because, yes, her turf form is good, but I mean, geez, it's really slow. And she's jumped up 25 points or 20 points here on the dirt. But now they're switching her back. It feels to me, and I shouldn't be questioning Rusty Arnold, Paul. You know I love Rusty Arnold. I shouldn't be questioning him, but that's part of our job here. It feels like they're just going this race because the money is there and that that they're nominated for it, and they want to see if she can run those fast numbers on turf. But she's never done it before, so I don't know. I don't know what to make of her. Her last race in the test was unbelievable, Paul, because she dwelt at the start and still got up, although it was a pretty fast pace and it sort of melted down a little bit. I hear you. She can absolutely win. I'm just going to go a different direction. Tabidi. I'm going to Tabidi. Ralph Beckett. Again, here's another Euro. I love her form. She's consistent. My only concern, Paul, is the distance might be a little bit too short, and this race might be a little bit too sharp for this Kingman filly. She's also the first time going left-handed. That's also a bit of a negative. I don't care, Paul. I think there's a lot of speed in this race. The Torrey's not going to be that far back if he can help it. There's a lot of intent with this filly. This is one of the best filly sprinters in Europe right now. She's been in Group 1 races as a 2-year-old. She's just rounding into her 3-year-old form. I think she's going to fire a massive race, and I would assume if it comes up a little bit wet, she wouldn't mind a little give in the ground either. I'm going to go with Tabidi in a very soft decision in a very difficult race.
Howard, let me just say one thing to respond to your thoughts about Kilwin, which are well taken. Rusty Arnold, before the test, said the plan was to go back to the terrific Kentucky Downs with this horse. So
that's why you're the best, Paul. Like I knew that. Like I just talked to trainers, and I've got I
didn't say it to me, but he did say it to someone from the special. Yeah. So it doesn't mean she's going to win, but this was not simply let's just go take a shot at the money. I think his plan was to come back to turf.
That's why I love Paul Halloran, the man, because he easily could have said, Howard, you're dead wrong. Let me tell you what I heard. But he put it so nicely, so
that's
gently.
Me.
You're a warm, fuzzy person. Guy. Yeah. Thank you, Paul. I appreciate that. And no, obviously I did not know that information. So now I pick Kilwin on top. How's that?
No, I'm not trying to change your mind. I'm just trying to.
Well, you definitely changed a little bit, that's for sure. But I appreciate the info. Let's go to race 10. Race 10 is the penultimate leg of this sequence of these stake races. This is a grade 1. This is for the boys, 6.5 furlongs. Whoops, let me do this. Boys, 6.5 furlongs. It's the the Ainsworth. Got to give the credit to the sponsors. The Ainsworth Franklin Simpson Stakes, grade 1, 4:46 Central Time. Another huge field of 12 with 4 AEs, not MTOs. They're not running on dirt. It's going to be on turf if it's going to be run at all. Moyline Favorite is a horse that we're pretty familiar with, Paul. The number 8, Spiced Up. Mott and Alvarado, who beat Governor Sam last time. The 7 and 8 are two very likable, very talented 3-year-olds. Let's see if we're going with one of those two. We are not. I'm going 2, 7, 8. Paul's going 8, 2, 4. Spiced Up last time, Paul. I'll show the replay. I thought ran huge and is continuing to improve and is a major factor in here. The only thing I will say slightly negative is that pace was very fast and got a absolutely wonderful, perfect trip from Junior. She's going to have to be very good again, but I'll tell you what, she could improve again for the awesome team of Mott and Alvarado.
Yeah, and if we're being honest, Howard, this is a grade 1 in name only. I believe if you look, there are only, I think I'm right about this. I think only 3 horses in the race have won a graded stakes, and none has won a grade 1. So I have no problem with taking this horse off the grade 3 Mahoney at Saratoga. I agree
so let
with
me
you.
get this straight. The Vanderbilt is not the Vanderbilt, which we can go back
Yeah.
years.
Oh, don't play.
Is not a grade 1, but this anyway. Go
You're
ahead.
trying to get me. You're trying to get me going. You just said, you know what? We had a nice show tonight. Everything's positive. We had the Dormans and Jocelyn and Robin, and now Howard wants to get Paul going on the graded stakes committee.
No, I'll
Is
slow
that
your
what you're
blood.
trying to do?
I'll slow down your blood pressure. They have penny breakage in New York now, and they're gonna, and soon they're not gonna have coupling. There, you feel better?
I feel better. Right.
All right, spiced up.
So anyway, yeah, I thought, this is, look at Bill Mott is not afraid to try something different. See Cigar. This is a horse that did not run well on dirt twice. Bill gave him the winter off and said, well, let's see what dirt, let's give it a turf a try. And I'm sure that's what that was about in that first try at Aqueduct. And then a good win, and then let's go up to Saratoga and run in a graded stakes. I think this horse, even off of 93, now you might say, well, how much is he going to advance off of 93? I just think that third off the layoff, this horse could still progress, and I kind of like this horse a lot here.
Let's watch the replay. Spiced Up's the 4. Governor Sam is the 9. They both got good trips. I guess you could say Governor Sam, Paul, made the wider, or not wider move, well, slightly wider move, but was up closer into a hotter pace, while Spice Up in the Juddmonte colors further back. Here's this Governor Sam was 1-2 in this spot, and then you see the unbelievable ride by Junior just comes the outside and comes over the top.
Yeah, I think Irad thought this race was won. I thought he thinks he made a winning move, and it looks like it at this point. And then, now once they get in, all of a sudden, the cavalry has come. But, Junior's the only one who went by him. And Governor Sam, Alex Bregman, starting third baseman for your Boston Red Sox, owns Governor Sam. And this is a good horse. Talk about consistent horses. They had a notion. They ran him in that prep for Ascot in his first career race. So that's what they thought about this horse. And numbers wise fits, you get Irad. So, Governor Sam is a handful.
Yeah, he's good. I've got nothing against him. He can absolutely win this race. The only reason why I have him ahead of Spiced Up is I just want to see it again from Spiced Up. And he got such a good trip. But Spiced Up actually beat him, I won't say easily, but he did roll by him relatively easily. I'm very interested, Paul, in the number 2 here, Troubleshooting, for Foley and Gaffleone. This horse is really good right now, and it feels like and he stays in Kentucky. He just keeps getting better and better. Foley is really good with these turf sprinters, and is right there with Litigation, has been there with some really nice horses. He might be a slightly slower and maybe not quite the class level, but I like the 2-hole. We didn't really talk about the configuration of the track. I don't like horses that are parked out wider in the 6.5. That first bend comes up relatively quickly. Tyler should be able to save ground. There's plenty of speed in the race. This horse doesn't have to come too far back. And, maybe he's got to prove it against some of these others, but his numbers fit, Paul. I'm going to get a bigger price. So I'm going to take a shot at Troubleshooting again. It's a very difficult race, and we'll see what Troubleshooting, the number 2, can do. The last race we're going to talk about is the feature of the day, and it is the Turf Cup. Let me go ahead and bring to that. And this is the race that has our friends from Crown's Way with a horse in the number 4, Vote No. This is a $2.5 million Kentucky Turf Cup Invitational. It's a grade 2. Paul, I host fail again. I think it's a win and you're in for the Breeders' Cup Turf. I believe. I'd have to check that. I'm not sure, but I believe it is. I'll let you check that, Paul, as I talk about it a little bit. This is a field of 11, and this is a completely wide open race here. The morning line favorite is the number 6, Grand Sonata, for Pletcher and Gaffleone, who just lost in the whoops, I almost said it, in the million. Can't say it, sorry. The A million at Colonial to a horse that we watched when you weren't with us, Paul, but our group watched from the gazebo in person, watching Fort Washington and Junior come over the top and win in a thrilling fashion. He is 9-2, the number 11, Fort Washington. However, this should be scrolling. Sorry, let me switch the banner here. There we go. I am going 7, 10, 2, and Paul is going 11, 2, 6 in the big race of the day. We do not have vote no in the top 3, but I do want to talk about him at the end here, Paul. You're going to go with Fort Washington right back from the far outside post, stretching out, but in the form of his life right now, again, for Shug and Junior.
Yeah, and this is a little more than a lap around this. Rick Hermele, one of the racing officials, calls it a light bulb shaped track, and that's about as accurate as you're going to get.
There it is on the top right, by the way.
Yeah, it is a win and you're in for the Breeders' Cup Turf, Howard.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought I had Fort Washington that day. I'm happy to report. Ran a career best number.
Yep.
I have, I think the extra quarter mile is going to fit just fine. Certainly in that race, his style is he is coming from behind. He's 6. Sometimes these 6-year-olds at these turf marathons peter out a little. They certainly don't do well in the Breeders' Cup Turf. We know that. But yeah, I have no reason to think that this horse of Shug's is not going to fire again.
Will he be the favorite, Paul?
Oh, guess the favorite. That's a good point.
That might be a tougher question than
well,
guess who's
you know
win
what?
the damn race.
And let's give. I'm glad you mentioned that, Howard. Our friend Nick Tamaro is on the line, the ML for this meet as well, right? And we talk. I heard him talking to Steve Bick about it last week. I'm pretty sure he is.
Cool.
Regardless of who's doing it, we talk a lot about how that's a difficult job.
Oh.
There is no more difficult job in morning line world than this meet. Okay.
No, it's impossible.
I mean, every race is 12, seems like it's 12 minimum. Opening day, they had a few shorter fields. But anyway, to answer your question, I think Grand Sonata will take a decent amount of money off the second in the million. But yes, I think, because I don't think the post position matters that much with that long a run to the turn. So yes, I will say that Fort Washington will be a tepid favorite.
I think you're right. All I know is he can win because I don't have him in the mix. The only reason I don't have him in the mix is 2 reasons, Paul. Number one, last time was the time for him, for me, selfishly, sort of like Sierra Leone last time. And he's going to be a low price, and it's just a very evenly matched field. Not only that, I don't know if he wants the distance. I mean, it's easy to say, well, I'm sure I'll get the distance. We don't really know, right? And so, but he can obviously win the race. This is a very tepid choice for me, Paul. But Utah Beach, to me, is a very interesting horse. And I watched the replay of the Sword Dancer. He never really got cover. He was like 2-3 wide the entire way. He made that same run that Alvazine made, the number 2, who actually I've been chasing a lot. This field is just much easier. That field with the El Cordobas and Rebel Red ran huge, and this is an easier race. What I noticed about Utah Beach, Paul, is I think he wants long stretches. Like, if you look at his best races, Churchill's got a pretty long stretch. Keeneland's got a pretty long stretch. On that last turn at Saratoga, that tight turn on the inner, he just didn't look comfortable. I just have a feeling, Paul, that Utah Beach is really going to take to Kentucky Downs, and he already ran at Kentucky Downs. Actually, it's off this page, but he did finish second at Kentucky Downs early in his career. And the fact is, he's really not that far off anyone in here. And I think it might get a little bit of price. So it's not my strongest opinion. I think Utah Beach is gonna like the configuration. I think I'm gonna get like 8-1 maybe on Utah Beach, and I'm just gonna go with him in a very, very tepid choice. I do want to mention Corruption, who beat a decent field last time. He's going to sit right outside the main speed here, and I think he's getting really good right now from Mark Casse. Fade Mark Casse and Jose Ortiz, Paul, at your own peril. I think he's going to sit a great trip. He's going to get the distance. The only question is class. And look, he wasn't that far off the Deterministic, who I think is a pretty damn good horse. So I think Corruption is going to sit right off the number 5, Mercante, who could win this race, but we don't have him. He's really stretching out in distance. There's just a lot of different ways. I've got Al Razine in the mix. You've got Grand Sonata also in the mix, who's run 2 big races. We could talk about this race for a long time. Sorry, I almost crapped the bed there. Vote no. I got to tell you, if you said Nick Tamro did the morning line, and I love Nick Tamro and his work. This morning line is just way off. There's no reason this horse should be 30-1, and it's not because Kyle owns a small piece of this or it's Crown's Way. This horse should be half that, Paul. He's run some very nice races in the Cape Halopen and the United Nations. He was only, 2 lengths off Grand Sonata, who you just said could be the favorite or second choice here. And we all know what happened in the sword dance, so they sent him hard. They were going for it. He got pressed early, and he had no chance in that race. They're going to ride him differently. Kelsey Danner, by the way, I don't know if you've noticed, Paul, has won on a $100 winner. Today she had a $50 winner. That girl can train. I mean, there's no shocker there from you and me. Saez will be more patient. I'm going to put Vote No fourth in my final decision, in this race. But if he gets in the top 3, would I be shocked? Absolutely no. I don't think he's good enough to win this race. But don't sleep on Vote No underneath at a ridiculous 30-1 morning line, in my humble opinion.
Yeah, and we talked about it. I respect what they did in the Sword Dancer, right? They didn't ride to get a piece of it. They rode to, they went for it. And, I think we all like that El Cordobas. That's a real horse. Yes. And Rebel Red and, oh, by the way, Nation's Pride, who looked like a winner coming home in that race. So that I agree with you. That field was stacked. And, you get Louis, Kelsey rides a variety of jockeys, and Louis will be better than some. Yeah. So you get Louis in this race, and of course we're rooting for Tony and Kyle and the boys. Absolutely.
We know Kyle's another pretty emotional guy. I'm sure is very capable of showing emotion, although he doesn't have a piece of that horse. I can only imagine, Paul, especially Tony, because that's life changing. I mean, that changes the entire Crown's Way racing program if they can win that race, or even if they finish second, Paul, for God's sakes. It's 2.5. He's a Kentucky bred. Do the math, 20%. What's wrong with $500,000 for finishing second, or even $250,000 for finishing third? That ain't no small piece of change either. So I can only imagine their emotions. I hope the weather's going to be fine when that race goes off. I just hope they don't get too much rain the night before and the morning of. Paul, there's your best on the bottom of the screen. Race 8, you're going to go with double 1 with 9. I'll let you talk about those 2 horses very quickly. And then race 9, a pick 3, singling the 9 with 248 with 211.
Yeah, they're both based on Kilwin. I have Namaron, the German bred, into Kilwin in a cold double, and then Kilwin starting a pick 3 going forward with a little spread after that.
I like it. Good luck to you, Paul. You're going to laugh at this because I had to put this in. I won't say my play of the year, but my best bet, race 8, as much as humanly possible, on the number 7 New Century. I really like the turn back, Paul. I've been waiting for the number 7 New Century to turn back. I hope the course is fair. I hope he gets a good trip. If he gets a good trip, I will have no excuses. He will have no excuses. If he doesn't run well, I'll just say I'm completely wrong. Sure, he's never run over Kentucky Downs, but I think he's really well spotted here. And I don't think the field is anything special. And I really, really think he wants to turn back. That's my main angle on that horse. Paul, this has been one hell of a show, my friend. There's been a lot of comments in the chat. I'm sorry we didn't get to them. Duly noted from Matt Miller. Kyle's like Churchtown, inside joke, who was pulled up in the race that I picked him as my play of the year. That's at Kentucky Downs, by the way, coincidentally. Let's hope that doesn't happen. Brad Anderson, thanks for a great show. Let's keep that donation train rolling. Are we ready for some football? We are. Not Monday Night Football. On Thursday night is the NFL is about to kick off. Again, please make donations, everyone, to the unbelievable cause. There's the donation wall link to the Cody Dorman Monument. Paul, I hope we did justice in the first half of the show. If you didn't watch it, check it out. Again, our podcast goal, Paul, was to hit $5,000, and I'm proud to announce, Mr. Halloran, the HHH Racing Podcast has hit our goal of $5,000 and growing to the Cody Wish Cody Dorman monument. So we are very proud to have that happen, thanks to a lot of people, but especially Brad Anderson, Matt Miller, for helping match the donations. And I will see you, my friend, in person October, was that 11th or 14th? I can't remember now.
Statue is the 11th.
October 11th at Kentucky Horse Park in Lexington, Kentucky. Paul, final thoughts, unless you have a rant, we'll wrap it up.
No, just thank you, Howard. I just think of where we started. I think you and I spoke for the first time in 2021, and I think I did my first show April of 21, and I've had a lot of high points, and certainly appreciate your family, the HHH family, hopping onto this Cody's Wish story, all the support that you've given me and my project, and now this monument, which is, I just think it will be a monumental day there on the 11th, Howard. And then all we have to do is you and I will go finish 1-2 in the contest, or 2-1 in the contest right after that.
Yeah,
you
2-1.
You'll be 1, I'll be 2.
You've already won one. There's not scrolling in the bottom of the screen. You already won one, so my friend. You can throw a few bones, but that's fine. I'll take second. That'd be just fine.
Great
as well. Paul, great job.
Great.
Thank you very much for everything. Thank you everyone for watching and listening. Episode 26, I believe, of the HHH Racing Podcast. Please donate, and also please crush your bets at Kentucky Downs this Saturday. Take care, everyone. Have a great night. Bye-bye.
If you have not followed his Triple H Horse Racing Podcast, you're missing out. It's one of the best podcasts in the country.